Hi everyone, this is Delmendo and we are here in my alma mater, Cagayan National High School. CNHS is actually one of the premier secondary schools here in Cagayan, if not the best. But I still believe it's the best because it's my alma mater. Okay, why are we here anyway? Thanks to this school, I learned how important and how effective technology is in the classroom, especially TV, video, and film. Just a little information, guys. CNHS has a lot of sections. Back in my time, hindi ko na alam ngayon. So from first year to fourth year, there's like 30 or 30 plus sections. Merong cream of the crop, or what we call the science sections, that's the gold, silver, and nickel. And then sa regular sections nila from section 1 to 30 or 30 plus. And then this building over here, that's the SPA or Special Program for the Arts. And dyan yung mga passionate students, yung mga madaming talent, but still, they still do academics. So in this building, I had a lot of computer classes back then. That's why I was emphasizing science sections, and me being in the silver section. I didn't make it to the gold section, but I'm still proud. So because we're in the science sections, these rooms back then, there's a lot of computers there. Let's talk about TLE. TLE is a common subject in elementary and secondary, but I was also aware back in our time that our TLE classes are very much different from regular sections. What do I mean by that? The regular sections, they had to do crafting, dressmaking, a little bit of agriculture and gardening. However, in the science sections, we were exposed from the onset, from first year to fourth year, we were exposed to computers. So what we did with this computer, during our classes, we were taught about applications, programs. We can access a lot of videos for science classes. This room here is our earth science class, and our teacher was fond of making us prepare and submit video presentations. And because of our knowledge, it's not very advanced, I cannot say that, because I was also learning back then, but because I had the knowledge on computer, it was very useful for me. This right here is what we call our main building, because silver section and nickel section stay there. From first year to fourth year, I stayed here. That's the first floor and second floor. I remember our English teacher in first year, that was my first time watching a whole film, a film that I did not like at first, but then I was able to admire it eventually. It's called The Notebook, starring Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling. I was able to complete an analysis and reaction on that film just because my teacher would always let us watch a film and help us analyze the film in a deeper and more academic manner. So that's the main building. We're going out from that gate. And for 2 minutes to 5 minute stops, we would go to our TLE room. It's the main TLE room. We are now going to the science building. Here we had our chemistry, physics, and other science classes. It's called the DOST room because it was funded and of course sponsored by the Department of Science and Technology. And here, we would do a lot of experiments. We would film them. In one of our physics class here, we had to film a video, record ourselves singing a song. And for that song to be better and entertaining, some of our classmates played music in the background using alternative musical tools like empty bottles of water, kettle, wooden things and materials, and something like that. So from that main building, this is the DOST room, and we are going to, we had to walk for a few minutes to the TLE room. This right here, across the grandstand or the oval, is the area or the part where we do our TLE classes and MAPE classes. So it did not look like this before. It wasn't as modern as it is right now because we only do our lessons here. Our teachers would discuss. And then from here, we then walk a few minutes to go to our computer laboratories. We're now here in the main building. Thanks to these classrooms, I honed and I improved my skills in film editing, film scripting, film production. And that led me to my passion because when I get to enroll in college, I chose mass communication because I wanted broadcasting and journalism. So a little bit of story. I did work in the corporate world. I worked for the Department of Science and Technology and the National Economic Development and Authority for 3 years. But then I realized that it wasn't my passion. I rekindled the things that I learned here, primarily film, video, and TV. And one of the major decisions in my life is to quit the job in the office and to establish my career online. So now I'm a freelance writer. I'm also an editor, and I help manage a lot of YouTube channels that are growing rapidly nowadays, and it's making a lot of money. Our boss is international, but that gives me an idea on the direction that I wanted to take in my life as I grow up. Looking back, because I'm not that kind of student who just wants my teachers to talk the whole day and write on the chalkboard and then I copy on my notebook. I was that kind of student who also wanted and needed imagery, pictures, videos, and movies back in our time. Because had it not happened, I won't be able to discover my passion and what I really wanted for my career. So really, thank you to my high school teachers for incorporating technology as early as secondary. And with that, to conclude this vlog, I just want to say that without TV, film, and video, classes in the classroom will be boring, it will be limited, and it will be very depriving to students. However, if these three are in the classroom, it's gonna be life-changing. Thank you for listening. Bye. The second part of the video, 4 of my group mates are way younger than I am, so I had to ask them how effective and powerful multimedia is in their studies back in high school and in college, especially that they were still studying during the pandemic years, and we all know that there were no face-to-face classes in those times. So let's hear from them.
You know, looking back, film, video, and TV actually played a huge role in my education, way more than I realized at the time. In high school, I was really that kid who loved books. I'd hang out in the library a lot, doing assignments, or just reading because it felt peaceful. But when the pandemic hit, everything changed. Suddenly, I couldn't rely on libraries or face-to-face discussions anymore, and everything moved online, and film, video, and TV basically became a classroom. I learned through recorded lessons, YouTube explanations, and even documentaries. And honestly, those things kept me going even when everything felt unstable and isolating. So by the time I entered college, I was already used to learning through screens. Our professors would show videos, short films, or clips to explain concepts, and it actually made lessons easier to understand. For me, it felt more real, like I could see the topic more instead of just reading about it. And now that I think about it, those tools weren't just helpful, they were essential. They helped me adapt, they kept me engaged, and they really shaped the way I process information today.
Hi everyone, good day. I am Crystal Delmendo, and the given question to us is how important and effective were film, video, as well as TV during our high school and college days. So I think this film, video, as well as TV, there were like hidden teachers during my college and high school days because they turn boring topics and lessons into stories that I could see as well as I could feel, especially I could remember. So a documentary could explain just for 10 minutes what a textbook needed 3 chapters to explain. And also, movies feels like history feels like alive, wherein they turn history into movies, while classroom videos help me to understand more deeper the concept, the lessons, especially science and math during my high school time. So this concept, uh, they make the lessons or the topics more easier as well as more creative. So these tools didn't just teach me facts, as well as these tools trained my imagination as well as to deepen my critical thinking skills and made me feel like that learning feels less a task, but rather it's more like experience, as well as it's more like a challenge, as well as it really enlightened me about the new technology that we must adapt. And to conclude my answer, ladies and gentlemen, this tool didn't just educate me, but rather it opened my eyes, it opened my perspective that I could apply for my work as well as for my teaching in the future. So this proved that learning is stick best when it touches our mind and our heart. So ladies and gentlemen, I could say that these 3 tools are my mentors because I consider them as my hidden teacher. That would be all. Thank you.
In this technologically driven world, adapting into the advanced educational style of teaching is important. For example, using the internet or integrating videos and films or even using TVs and gadgets to teach the students. I remember when I was in high school and college, we were using technology in general to learn the lessons, and also our teachers and professors are integrating it into their teaching styles. I would say that it is effective to some extent. Film, video, and television effectively complement traditional teaching by increasing students' engagement, improving comprehension, and supporting diverse learning needs across the students. Films, videos, and TV offers and promotes a visual demonstration that boosts engagement, discussion, thinking, and learning of the students. This also heightens the students' academic outcomes because of the convenience of films, videos, and TV offers. However, we also need to consider that the accessibility of these types of teaching styles. Because for me, I was fortunate that in my school, we were able to acquire and have these necessary items and tools where we can watch films or videos and use the TV for learning. But most of the schools in the Philippines have no access to such things. Hence, it is important to consider that we should push for more accessibility in this type of education in order to also increase the competence of the students.
For me, film, video, and TV were super helpful in both high school and college. They made lessons much more easier to understand because I wasn't just reading or listening. I could actually see what the topic was all about. Documentaries, short clips, and even educational shows made subjects like history, science, and social issues more interesting and easier to remember. Sometimes a single video explained things better than the whole chapter in a book. So in college, videos also helped me connect lessons to real life situations, especially during presentations and case studies. They kept me focused, made the learning less boring, and honestly helped me absorb information in much more faster rate. So overall, they made the school feel more engaging and less stressful.